Big Brother Rewind is sponsored by Hover.com. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. FreshBooks. FreshBooks is an easy-to-use online invoicing service that saves you time, gets you paid faster, and makes you look professional. Get started completely for free at FreshBooks.com. And by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ.
Tonight on the GFQ Big Brother Rewind, Lawon becomes the newest evicted house guest. Brendon is revived and sent back into the Big Brother house. And the veteran's worst nightmare also comes true when Daniele wins the HOH competition. All this and more on this week's Big Brother Rewind.
Welcome, everybody, to Big Brother Rewind. This is the show where we recap everything that happened in the Big Brother house. And a lot has happened. And I'm gonna tell you before we start, I'm not happy with this season. I thought in the beginning I was really excited, and now not so much.
Have you given up entirely?
No, I can't because I have to still watch it for the show. But
Sure.
if I didn't have the show, I don't know if I would still be watching it.
Really?
And we'll get into why, but I want to introduce Jessica first. Hey, Jess.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay, thank you.
I am. That's all I have to say. I don't have much to say.
And Tim on the couch. How you doing, Tim?
I have not given up. It is not my nature to give up. So I will.
You are not a quitter.
I am not a quitter.
Sometimes.
Well, drugs and alcohol, yes. But
okay, so, you know, and I hate to think this, and, you know, I always read the blogs. I'm a big fan of onlinebigbrother.com, and I always read the blogs, and I read what people say. Not so much the blogs, but I read the comments, and I read the forum posts, and a lot of people always complain that Big Brother interferes into the game. CBS interferes in some way. And yes, you can understand how production could swerve you in some ways, but to blatantly go out there and take somebody that got evicted and put him back in the house, I don't know.
It completely changes the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
That it does.
Yeah. And already the season was a little skewed, right? We had the veterans that were in there, and we all knew that they would have an advantage. And coming off of last year's debacle with Annie. Right. I don't know why I screen.
Well, she was forgettable anyway. So.
But she was forgettable because she was the first one evicted, and she was the catch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she was supposed to be it. And now they're doing, you know, they had the big twist where Brendon came back to the house after Lawon pretty much self-evicted himself.
Yeah, he's not the shrewdest player in the history of the
He
game.
kicked himself out of the house.
Right.
Really? The man does nothing for 40 days. And then all of a sudden, on the 41st
He's on a different
day,
show.
Yeah, he's totally on a different show. And on the 41st day, he says...
He's on the Amazing Race.
He's on the Amazing Race. He has nothing to do with this show. And all of a sudden, day 41 comes around, and he says to Kalia, "You should just put me up." Thinking, now here's the brilliance.
Right.
Thinking that he was going to get superpowers when he came back.
That was the greatest thing that he said. He actually said superpowers.
Superpowers.
Right.
And I'm thinking, so he knows he would go home. I mean, and we're not going to do the regular recap of everything. I'm trying a different thing with the show. And a lot of people said that they don't really like it when I recap everything. They like the conversation because they've seen it.
They've seen it.
And again, I really encourage the emails. A lot of you are amazing with the emails, and it's very encouraging. A lot of you just tell me I suck.
For example, my Facebook friend Milos Milanosevic, who told me that I look like Jack Hanna because I was wearing the same colored shirt and pants. I appreciate those communications too. Keep that coming.
Yeah, please keep them coming.
Not alone on the show, our fashion choices. Do you think Lawon, is there a possibility Lawon wanted to go home? As crazy as that sounds,
no, because
he's just that dumb.
I think he's that dumb.
No. At first, you know what I thought? I thought maybe he just doesn't care. He's like,
what I've
hell
done
with it. I'll go to home.
It's a story.
But his reaction in the competition to get back in the house with Brendon was just priceless.
Right.
When they told him, like, Lawon, you are out, you are gone, and like even when he lost, I don't think he got it. Right. Until they said, Lawon, pack your crap and leave.
Right.
And that face was just priceless.
Like a sad puppy.
I mean, do you think he thought he was... and I'm trying to think, like, what power he thought. Like, so he expected to be evicted.
Right.
I mean, let's
right.
Let's put that out there because he didn't say like, oh well, I have a good chance of winning. He said I'm going to be evicted.
Although he does slip up with Shelly, and he says something about this is why I told Kalia to put me up, and then I think he realizes how retarded he sounded, so he then switches it up and says, I don't know why Kalia, told me like put me up. I have no idea why Kalia would do that to me. And then Shelly tries to push it a little bit more, but it's very obvious that Lawon is lying, which I think is also why he got voted out, because it was really obvious that he was lying.
Yeah, but first of all, Rachel's sting was just phenomenal because
a 6-0 vote.
Okay, let's analyze this a little bit. She's hated by everybody in that house.
Sure.
But
And
nobody wants to get
America.
rid of her.
Right.
And again, I'm gonna play the conspiracy theory, okay? And please email us at guysfromqueens@gmail.com if you think I'm out of my mind with this. And I don't necessarily believe it 100% either because I don't want to believe it. But there's a lot of funny stuff happening. Rachel talks about Jeff and Jordan, first of all, are untouchable in that house at this point.
I just want to say that there is, if you look online,
and everybody hates Jeff apparently.
at some of the World Trade Center wreckage, you see Rachel's face in Building 7. So she is involved.
She is involved in several
Yes.
conspiracies, not only involving Big Brother, but there are several
That's
things
actually
that
funny.
she may be responsible for. I like her. I'm glad.
Jeff and Jordan, the entire world hates them apparently. Because if you look at the blogs, everybody hates them.
because it's too much already. It's enough.
Yeah.
We've had enough.
I
Yeah.
love him.
Nobody buys I don't buy their act.
No.
I don't buy their act. They're a creation.
At what?
They're a
I
creation
like
of
them.
CBS. I think they live in a vault in Les Moonves's house. I've said it before. I believe that.
But
believe
I
that-
like them.
you like the idea of them.
No, they're likable characters. She's silly and ridiculous, and
I don't know if I buy her dumb act.
But you know what's funny? A lot of the Big Brother fans have regurgitated the whole Jeff and Jordan thing.
Right.
I don't, and I haven't seen it. Jeff is a little bit pompous sometimes, but I like the guy.
Sure.
And Jordan, how could you dislike her?
Sure.
Because she's so in the air. And this,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in this week, she had to wear the costume, and she's
Yes.
wearing a dunce cap, and it says "I'm with stupid," and it points at her.
hasn't
She's
been aired
adorable. What?
that hasn't been aired yet.
Oh, it has. Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Spoiler
We'll
alert.
get to that. And see, this is why I need structure, guys. Do you understand that, viewers? This is why. This is the exact reason why.
If that bothered you, you know where to email.
Yeah. At guysfromqueens@gmail.com. But
Right.
Rachel is... I mean, the entire house hates her. Everybody in the world hates her. But she's a Teflon Don. She's like Gotti.
Right.
Yeah,
She's not
she
getting...
is at this
She
point.
can't go home. And she's been on the block. Brendon goes home. Then she goes back on the block. And they send Lawon home.
Right.
And I understand the mentality that they kept her because I think everybody in the house thought that there's some major twist. Did they know that there was going to be a competition of sorts?
No, they
Like,
just
what did
knew
they
somebody
think?
was going to come back.
But they didn't know who.
Yeah.
Rachel thought it would be her.
And
Because she kept saying, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back. If I'm out, I'm coming back.
Right. Right.
And Jeff scared the hell out of
Kalia.
Kalia. Oh my goodness. I don't think we've ever seen it as bad as that. Really.
And pretty much they both went into
I
that
feel
room.
like Jeff is maybe like a Klan member a little bit.
Yeah.
You had his statements in the beginning about Dumbledore being gay, and then you had he's kind of guns out for Kalia. I don't know. He seems a little.
You know what's
They're a
interesting
little
about
too
it?
white.
Jeff and Jordan went in there and they bullied her.
Right.
And they scared her into keeping them. I mean, and it was interesting because I don't know, Kalia was terrified. And that
she's crazy, too.
POV, and in that POV competition last week where Kalia is cheering for Jeff, come on, Jeff, and totally gave up in the
So
competition.
weird.
Wasn't that bizarre?
So bizarre.
So I don't know what's happening, and I don't know what happens in that house because I haven't been there. I just think you go crazy, and these people are going crazy in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Kalia had a great power move. She could have kept Jeff and Jordan, Rachel and Jeff up there, and Jeff won. You could have put Jordan up, gotten rid of Rachel. Rachel and Brendon would have competed, and I'm sure Rachel would have come back
Right.
and would not have won anyway.
Right.
Because Danny won, they would have put Rachel back on the block, and they would have gotten rid of Rachel.
Right.
But instead, they all screw up the plans.
Right.
All of them. And I don't understand. Danny's such a smart player. Danny is single-handedly in that house the best player.
Sure.
She is.
And I, she's done a great job, and say what you want about her, but she has done a great job of coming out of her father's shadows that many people believe. I don't think that. I think she's been an unbelievable competitor from day one, and she has made nearly every power move, but she's even pulling back a little bit.
Right.
So where do we go from here, Joss? Should we talk about what happened this week? Okay, so that was pretty much my summary. I mean,
Kalia,
everybody's seen it.
That, you guys are forgetting that there's many. You said several of the people in the house are going crazy. Several of the people that live in Kalia's head are also going crazy.
She just keeps talking to herself.
Out.
I don't feel like she's mentally stable.
She's not.
No, she's a little nutty, and I don't know, but maybe it's that house. Do you think Rachel is that out of her mind outside of that house? Do you think she is normal, like in everyday life?
I don't know if she's that crazy, and I think editing, because I think Shelley took a beating.
No, but I see the live feed. I watched but Shelley even lost it. But I watched the live feed. The things that she says is nuts.
Right.
I
mean, I don't know if I'd want to. I don't think I'd nominate her for as a prime candidate to babysit or lead a troop of brownies. Rachel, but I don't know. I think it's enhanced somewhat, by the circumstance.
Right. Well, did you notice this has nothing to do with gameplay, but I thought it was a funny little tidbit when Shelley is interviewing Jordan.
What about it?
So Jeff says to Shelley, you should do interviewing skills with Jordan. You should teach her how to interview because she can't be a receptionist forever. So apparently she's a receptionist.
Yeah.
And so Shelley starts asking her these questions, and her answers are so ridiculous. And Shelley just keeps like giving them. Like, what is who is your mentor? She says, I think myself. I think
that's everyone is their own mentor. I mean, I'm sure that's a.
And then
I think myself. I'm not sure. But
I'm not sure.
Do you think she knew what mentor meant?
It would have been great if she said David Hasselhoff. That would have been.
Yes.
David has been my mentor forever. I don't know. She could be. I think she's like a Wall Street raider. I really do. I just think she's like this bumpkin act is completely
right.
And then she's really like some shrewd, savvy conglomerate.
Right. Well, then Shelley asks her, would you consider yourself a half full or half glass empty or half glass full?
Are you half empty or is the glass half full or half empty?
Half whatever.
All right.
So Jordan says, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's a tough question. It's a tough, in all
full?
fairness.
So then she says, okay, well, what are your weaknesses? And she says, I'm really bad at science.
Yeah. And God only knows what she thinks science is, too.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
science probably in comp. I really don't like science. That kind when you stop the car at the red sign and then you go with the green sign. God only knows what that umbrella of science covers.
Right.
Science when you put chicken in an oven and expect it to come out when you can
I don't
chew
get it.
I don't understand that. Yeah, I think science is an umbrella that may describe
everything.
Several aspects of.
Rachel has also been having another breakdown this week. She's nuts. It's just get her out of there. And one thing I'm really just get her out.
I want to see the big breakdown though. I want to see her shave her head like Britney Spears.
Yeah, when because I don't think she's ever been on the block knowing she'll go home.
We want to see that breakdown.
I think she's thought it.
And don't think that CBS is not waiting for that too.
I think when it'll happen if Jeff or Jordan goes home.
Sure.
And she's on the block.
Right.
Then she knows she'll go home. Or if she's up against Jordan, she knows she'll go home. But if it's anybody else at this point, she has a chance of staying.
Right.
Because she has those 2 votes. She has Jeff and Jordan's vote.
Right.
It's the season to me has become extremely convoluted.
It's gimmicky.
It is gimmicky. And bringing back Brendon really showed, and they said Brendon won by, it was like crazy voting, like 2 million people voted for Brendon. It was some crazy number.
Because they want the whole dynamic between him and...
Do you really think people voted for Brendon. I mean, do we in this room and the viewers, and you could all, again, send me an email, guysfromqueens@gmail.com. Do you think that Brendon got America's vote like that?
I think it was, how we remember when Barack Obama, they had the Acorn was a community organizing group, and you found out that like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck registered to vote.
Yeah.
I think Brendon got a lot of votes from Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and the Three Stooges. And,
Right.
I mean, do you think that, Jess? Do you think
Les
that Brendon
and Julie,
Was it
Les
really
and
up to
Julie, Les and
America?
Julie.
No, I mean, I think that it has a lot to do. I think that's with anything, though.
Les
'cause-
Chan and Julie Moonves.
Right.
Yeah.
Just continually voted
Over
for
and over
Brendon.
Right. If you remember last year, even with like who's going to be America's player and who's going to do win the coup d'etat and all that stuff, that was all very odd. That
It's
it
shady.
just happened to be perfectly.
Yeah.
It's
well,
shady.
you mean
should
Jeff's coup d'etat? But Jeff was likable that season. You know what I mean? Like, Jeff was likable, so I could even believe that. I could believe that Jeff got
If
it.
you can't trust the producers of reality television, who
could
can
you
you
trust?
trust in
Yeah.
this
What
world?
What has happened in this country?
I don't understand. Come on.
Not okay.
I'm just, I thought Dom coming back would have been a great move.
You did.
And it
You
would have made things interesting. But I don't know. They really want to keep these guys in this game. They really want to keep Jeff, Jordan, Danny's untouchable,
that
but
they're really
Danny's
setting
untouchable
up-
because she's playing the game.
I really do think that they're setting up for an All-Stars couples game for next year.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? You're going to bring them back again?
I do. I think
How
they're going to.
boring
So
is it going to be to have
3
think they're going
seasons, the
to.
same people?
I do.
Why
I
don't
think
they
they're
just give them Jeff and Jordan
a show?
and it could be like, Jordan does simple mathematics or whatever it is. Like every week Jordan could try something new. Like, this week, Jordan has to go to the grocery store with, $20 and get things that add up to $20 in under 4 hours.
In my opinion, I think Dick leaving really screwed them up. And now I think they've been in a scramble since then. And we said it, and I said it in the beginning of the scene. I said, I really hope Big Brother will learn that lesson from season 12.
Right.
And they won't put all their eggs into one basket. And unfortunately, in my opinion, I think that basket was Dick.
And then they just overly manipulated the show.
And Dick leaving the show screwed him up big time. They were really hoping that Dick would, play the game. Dick and Danny would really play the game and stir things up. And because if one person's doing it, other people start doing it too.
Sure.
So I think if Dick started backdooring and Dick started putting people that he shouldn't on the block and Dick started fighting with people, because Dick knows what they want.
Sure.
I think other people would have done it. And last season, it's the same problem. A lot of people did not play the game. Everybody just sat there and they said, oh, okay, we'll just put up people one by one and that's it. Danny's trying to do it, but I think she's scared at the same time.
Right.
Because if God forbid, she goes on the block next week and she's already screwed Jeff, she's already screwed Brendon, she's already screwed Rachel, and she'll get the other vote too. Now she has no allies.
Right.
Do you think now, let's, little spoiler, Adam wins POV, which happened.
Well, you got to tell them who's up. on
Okay,
the block
go
first.
ahead. You do it.
No, go ahead. Okay, fine. Nominations are Adam
Yeah.
and Shelley.
And Shelley.
Now, originally, everyone thought that it was definitely going to be Rachel again.
I didn't think it. I didn't
Maybe
think it.
Brendon.
No, I
or-
knew she would do floaters.
Definitely one of the first 4. But Danny has a conversation with Rachel and Brendon up in the HOH room. And Rachel says to her, listen, we can come back together as a team now that Brendon's back, and we can just pretend that none of this happened. And we can work together. But this time, we won't tell anybody that we're working together. And we can make an alliance either for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or for final 3. And so Danny says, I have to think about it.
Yeah.
And then she goes
I mean,
ahead
she's
and
honest. I love the fact that she's so honest with everybody and she's not full of it. And I
Right.
think a lot of people say, yeah, you know what, that's an option. She says, no, I got to think about it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if I can trust you.
Right. So then she puts up Adam and Shelley, and now go ahead with the POV.
So Adam wins POV. Now, do you want to explain the POV competition?
No.
Oh yeah, you didn't. Okay, no,
because
no.
it wasn't shown
Yeah, you're
on
right.
air.
No, I know. I just wasn't sure if you know about it. I'll talk about it. So Adam won POV, and the fact that now Adam was on the block, so obviously he's going to take himself off.
Right.
Jeff had a shot at winning POV, and you guys will see it. And the question is, did Jeff know he's safe and didn't want that on his hands? You know,
right.
So who knows what it was? And we'll see more of the competition because we have not seen the competition yet.
And we don't know.
And Big Brother blocks it, so we don't know everything, and I don't want to speak out of context about it. So Adam wins POV. Adam pulled himself, and these are all spoilers. Adam pulls himself off. Who goes up?
Right.
Brendon goes up.
Right.
So now it's Brendon versus Shelly. Who will go home?
I think Shelly actually has a really good shot of going home.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of people are
angry with her. Did you see the clip of her eating in the last episode?
No.
Yeah, she was chewing something, and I don't know what she was chewing, but she was actually it looked. I read one of the blogs.
Yeah, because she doesn't chew.
I read one of the blogs, and it was kind of funny. They said she was chewing horsily. You know, so
I didn't know she eats. I've just seen her drink.
Well, they were saying, one of the recaps was saying that she got really the short end of the stick in terms of the editing this week.
Well, did you see the luxury comp?
I'm sure. No.
Okay. So there was a luxury competition. And in the luxury competition, Danny won a guaranteed shot at POV.
Oh.
So next week.
Oh, next week. Okay.
Yeah, next week. She'll play POV regardless.
Okay.
Jeff won money again. And it's not good that he keeps winning these monies.
These monies?
and Rachel's even saying like, oh, he should go home. He's already won money. Jordan won $500,000 last year. He won $10,000 and he won this again. So he should go home.
How much money did he win this time?
I'm not too sure about the amount. I don't remember the exact
Regardless, they still make out in the end. Whether they win or lose,
they're the golden child of CBS, so it doesn't matter.
They're gonna have a show soon. Watch this week. Jordan
guarantee if when they get engaged, they'll do a wedding, and then they'll have.
How disgusting will that be?
You want to bet that Rachel and Brendon will probably have something too?
I don't know if
they're hated.
Yeah, I don't know that Rachel and Brendon.
They're hated, and they're Viacom, so you could put them on VH1. Right. It's Viacom.
It's true. That could be the march to VH1.
Yeah.
Rachel is built for VH1.
Oh my God, Rachel is built for Jersey Shore.
Still on network television is amazing.
Yeah,
she's built to take a bus right and land.
First of all, Rachel, I'm sorry, but go get the Botox. Don't listen to Brendon.
Right.
I mean, your face is just exploding.
I like the
with animals.
Yeah, I like the
just things are screaming, "Help me!" Trying to escape her face.
Animals.
I think a plastic surgeon should donate pro bono his services.
Listen, we know Dr. Clapper, the great Dr. Clapper.
Yes.
Doctor of the House, New Jersey. I'm sorry, not New Jersey Housewives. I apologize. Mob Wives.
Right.
Good friends of his.
Wow.
He's coming on the show. Actually, he's coming on the AZ show to do. You're gonna do it, right?
He's gonna do my.
Are you gonna do a little injection?
Botox?
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
We'll see.
Okay. Tim, you gonna do it too? We'll all do it. It'll be fun. It'll be like a family thing.
I need so much more than Botox, Andrew. I need what Renee Graziano from the Mob said. She had like
the whole body lift.
A whole body lift.
Right.
It was
which he's the doctor.
It was like an Avatar type operation.
Right. That's what
put
that
in
was.
a suit.
And that was Dr. Clapper.
That's Dr. Clapper.
I know. I read the post.
So we can offer our services to Rachel if she needs some sort of help. But don't listen to Brendon. I mean, she knows. She's like, I want to go get stuff done.
Right.
It's like, listen, my face is exploding with things.
Yeah.
Whatever good is left in her is trying to escape from her face. Just the evil's taken over.
Yeah.
So Jordan had to wear a costume. He had to wear the, remember the hippie tard?
Yeah.
From last year? She had to wear a version of that, but it's a dunce cap. And the greatest thing, she goes to Shelly. She goes, I'm so glad it's not the hippie tard. He goes, why? He goes, there was so much camel toe last year. And she keeps talking about the camel toe.
That's so
And
funny.
the cameraman on the feeds, on the live feeds, just keeps zooming in on her ass in the spandex. And you could just see the camera just zooming in and zooming out and zooming in. And every time she gets up and walks, the camera just goes down to her ass. So it was really funny.
That's so funny.
Shelly gets confinement for 24 hours, solitary confinement. But she gets a phone call home to her kids. So that was really nice that she gets the phone call.
She's a smoker, too.
Now, whoever goes home this week is going to sequester, right?
Right.
Isn't that interesting? Just saying.
Do you think they'll be back?
Am I 100% right on this?
I believe so.
Whoever goes home this week will go to sequester because Rachel kept saying
it's top 10.
It's top, so it's going to sequester.
So you think it
again? Right. I mean, these are big coincidences.
Sure.
And she didn't win HOH. And I'm sure if she won HOH, she would have gotten the letter from the kids. And she kept saying, like, I wish I won HOH to talk to my kids, to see a letter from my kids, see pictures of my kids and my husband.
Yeah.
And now she gets the phone call a week before she potentially, I mean, the odds are she's going to go home.
Right.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I never thought this. And these are the people, and I'm a fan of the show, and I never considered these things. And people always say, oh, production always manipulates. And I could understand it to some level, but these are big coincidences.
Sure.
And I'm just playing that other side. And again, don't send me those emails saying you're an idiot for believing this and it just happens. Hasn't a coincidence happened? I understand that. I know, but it's just so weird.
It is.
It's weird.
It is.
So I don't know where to go from here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do based on this. Because I voted for Cassie about 6,000 times to come back to the house. And I'm just deeply upset.
Yeah.
And I cannot imagine why people didn't vote for Cassie or Dom and they voted for Brendon. Like, they're hated, Brendon and Rachel.
Yeah, but there's a lot.
You think people hate him enough to bring him back?
They might, just to see what it would be like to have the two of them back in the house together.
think there's a definite possibility. Because you know what it is? Brendon and Rachel provide this counterbalance to Jeff and Jordan.
But I would rather see Rachel alone.
Yeah.
That's the best part. I want to see Rachel play the game by herself.
Right.
Rachel said, by the way, that she can't handle if Brendon goes home this week. She's not going to know what to do because she's the one taking care of Rachel.
Yeah, she's.
But the best thing would be if Brendon goes for Rachel. I mean, mentally for Rachel to go home immediately, like to go back into
best thing for all
sequester,
of
go back
us
to the
would,
jury
of course,
house.
Be to see her completely and emotionally break down.
I don't
on a level that.
I don't know. You know, it's
we haven't
dangerous.
seen before.
It's almost unless she's the greatest actress in the world.
Nothing is dangerous when there are ratings and advertisers involved.
When they're in sequester, are
In the jury house?
in the jury house, do they get to speak to anybody?
Yeah, what is the details?
Because
of
I mean, that seems a little weird. Like the first week, you'd have an entire week.
No,
by
no,
yourself.
absolutely not. Because they only could see certain things.
Right.
So if you get a phone call, listen, I don't know what
but
production
I mean,
does
like, even
itself,
when if
but
there's,
you
like,
can't
production in there. Like somebody, I mean, I think that somebody would go crazy by themselves for a week.
Oh, no,
with
they
no
do.
TV,
They do.
No books. No nothing. They have nothing.
Yeah, I listened to an interview that Jesse did, and he said it was very difficult when he was in there
Yeah.
because he was by himself.
That's so sad.
So you're in there for a week, and all you do is hang out, and I'm
Sit
sure
by
there's
yourself.
production, and you get to talk to them, and you can
Sure.
say stuff to them. Like, you know, it's not that crazy.
Right.
You know, I can't imagine that. But it is like jail, and I keep explaining it to people. And I said that last week, and I got an email from someone saying, what do you mean it's like jail? It's a vacation. I'm like, no, it's not.
Right.
The fact that, you know, you go on vacation on your own terms, and yes, they're in there on their own terms, but if I wanted to turn the TV on vacation, I can. If I want to make a phone call to someone, I can.
Sure.
If I want to talk to my family, I can. These
Sure.
people cannot do that.
Right.
And it's easier for the veterans, but the newbies, it's extremely difficult because you're leaving everything. And I'm not, you know, I have a lot of, you know, issues at home. Like, I have bills. I have a family. I got a father. I got brothers we look after. If I went away for 3 months, that would be really bothering. Like, what's happening at home?
It's true.
Right. These people have kids, and let's just say, I'm not saying it's true, but let's say, you know, Adam or Shelly, they have marital issues, and they have, you know, an issue with a kid that has, you know, is a bad kid.
Right.
That will get to you because you have no clue what's happening.
Sure, it's a long time to be separated.
3 months. That's
separated.
And
That's
it's
a lot of
jail. They tell you when to go out. They tell you when to drink. They
Right.
tell you what to eat at certain times. And it's a major, major psychological battle. And I think a lot of these people just lose it.
I think that the strain and the stress on them is designed to, you know, create an environment where the drama is intensified, which is good for television. You know,
Shelly's a perfect example of this because Shelly has been the mother in this house.
Right.
And she, you know, she's been talking to Rachel, she's been talking to Jeff and Jordan. And Jordan and her have a motherly and daughter relationship. And when Rachel was having a breakdown, she was nearly shaking Rachel, telling her to stop. Like close to slapping her to knock some sense into her. This week when she went on the block, she kind of started losing it. And she started unraveling it because she's the victim now. She cannot be that mother.
Right.
And in my opinion, it might have been the first time she's ever been in that scenario because she has kids.
Right.
So she was like the kid, and people had to tell her, like, don't worry, it's going to be okay.
Right.
And I think she started unraveling because she was taken out of her element.
Right.
And you look at other people. You look at someone like, Keith, which could have been a very strong player. And I'm still, and this is one of the strangest things, I'm still confused over what happened to Keith when Dick went home.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like confusing. Like, what happened to him? Because Dick leaving has no effect on him. It actually helps him.
Right.
And he just totally exploded, thinking like it's a big trick and Jeff and Jordan were joking. And it just shows you what happens.
Sure.
And the winner of that game is not necessarily the strongest player physically. It's whoever could mentally block out everything.
Right.
Someone like Ashley Dupree would do phenomenal in that house.
How do you know? How do you know that Ashley Dupree?
Ashley Dupree, yeah, she would do excellent.
Really?
Because I listened to one of the greatest interviews ever that I've heard. Howard Stern did an interview with her.
Yeah.
And they explained, like, how do you do this? How do you sleep with these how do you become a prostitute? How do you sleep with these senators and doctors that they have a family? And she goes, you have to be so numb to everything, not just sexually, but numb to everything, where you could only think about yourself. That's the only important thing is you and what you're doing and what you're going to do to survive. And I think that's what these people have to do in this game. They have to get into that mindset.
So they should have a bunch of hookers the next season.
Bunch of hookers. That'd be excellent.
Absolutely.
And then the computer agrees with us.
That's
So let's go down a list here. So different scenarios that could play out. Obviously, Shelley will go home.
Sure.
Right? There's no way Brendon is going home this week.
I don't know if I necessarily
Jeff
agree
Jordan.
with that.
Jeff.
I think
Jordan.
Okay.
Rachel.
I don't know what's going on.
What's going on?
with my
What's
computer.
You can mute it.
I got logged out, and then I was trying to log back in, and now all these commercials keep popping up.
CBS is once again
you can
interfering with our ability
Yeah.
to bring you the truth, folks. And if this continues, I will be rioting outside the CBS building on Fifth Avenue, sitting, of course.
I mean, there's not really. There's Jeff, Jordan, Rachel, right?
That's 3.
Adam, Portia, Kalia. Those are the people voting. 6 people are voting.
I like how
so it's
Portia
gonna be a
thought
tie.
I don't think it'll be a tie.
Portia thought that alligators would have been a better representation of Florida than olives.
I know. I thought that
Yeah.
was the best thing
It was
ever.
very interesting. It's like a very interesting thing to get upset with,
I don't
Everything
get
else
olives.
is right. Everything else is going on, but that was what bothers you.
Right.
Right.
This is what one alligator looks like.
Right.
Now look at this pond.
Right.
How many alligators do you think is in this pond?
And then Jordan, what's an alligator?
What's an?
What's an alligator?
Oh, you mean an armadillo?
Next on Jeff and Jordan, Jordan figures out how to use the air conditioning.
Oh, so it blows air, not sucks it.
I see.
Crap.
This is funny. And then she'd build her own, solar powered car. Look, it happened by accident.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. I'm not a genius.
So Jeff, Jordan, and Rachel are voting for Brendon to stay.
Right.
Well, they're voting for Shelley to leave.
Right.
And
And then what?
then Adam, Kalia, Portia. Who's going to vote the other one?
They're all going to vote.
You think they'll vote Shelley? I don't think so.
I think they're going to vote Shelley out. And then it's going to come down to Danny to decide.
And Daniel will vote.
Maybe Brendon.
That'd be a great back door. No, I think Adam is with Jeff and Jordan. I think Adam is voting for Shelley
You
to
think
go.
100%?
Yeah. I mean, she's going to get one of them. And listen, anything could happen up until now. And I'm sure they've had discussions and they said, no, I'm with you. But don't be surprised if it's everybody
the problem
votes.
that Portia has with Shelley is that Shelley's with everyone.
Yeah.
And Danny doesn't.
And she got
like
caught.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Right. You always get caught when you're with more than one alliance.
I think you get caught during this week. This is the week that you get caught. But really, what does that mean, though? Does that mean you can't be close to everybody in the house? You know what I mean? Like, you could be friendly with everybody. You don't have to pick sides. But I think the paranoia by this time, because everybody's thinking Final Four at this time.
Everybody's
This
thinking
is when
about
you're
the
thinking about
finals.
Final Four.
Right.
It really starts to affect you.
Sure.
But what if, let's say Danny won, POV. What would have happened between Adam and Shelley? Adam would have gone home. I think Adam would have gone home.
I don't know how Adam's still in the game.
Adam's surviving, man.
Adam is surviving.
Adam is a nice dude.
Yeah.
Adam
He
is a nice
guy,
dude, and regardless, he's not a great competitor.
No.
But he did win POV when it mattered.
Sure.
And that I think look at Jordan and Jeff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've won, but Jeff is not a great player. Jeff is not a great player.
He doesn't seem to be.
He's not a great,
Right.
at endurances. He's not amazing at
Right,
them.
he's not.
He's okay. Brendon is okay. Rachel is better than all of them.
Jeff's a good social player, though.
Jeff is
What, you think so?
he's been a good social player in the past.
I don't think
and
this season he's.
I think
good
he's
social
fallen
player.
off this season.
Because this season he's taken the role of the leader,
Right.
and
he also keeps referring to himself as Big Jeff.
Big Jeff,
That's
Big Jeff, yeah,
weird.
Right.
that's funny. That's funny
I
that
don't
he
like
keeps
that.
on, and he's speaking in the third person. It goes, Big Jeff is going to evict you when he has a chance. Big Jeff is in the game. Big Jeff is here.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little funny.
I never understood people who put big before their name, I don't
know.
Or
It's one thing
small.
when it's done to you, like people start calling you big something,
Right.
but to just introduce it yourself is odd to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. So let's play at the situation. So you think Adam would have gone home?
Probably.
Yeah, Shelly would have stayed.
I think Shelly would have stayed, but again, Adam's, I think Shelly's a better player up until very recently, when it looks like the stress of things is starting to get to her. But I think probably Adam. I'll be honest,
So let's talk about next week.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about Thursday. And again, these are all our speculations at this point. So when I get those emails, when you listen to the show Thursday morning and you start calling me an idiot because things have happened in the house that we predicted wrong, you have to realize this is recording on a Monday. Because
Right.
I've been getting those a lot.
And Monday is
You're an
before
idiot.
Thursday, and that's
Yeah.
not a conspiracy.
I got an email. You're an idiot. And this was a funny thing. And maybe I should read this one because it was
Please do.
hysterical.
Please do.
Should I read this? This
Please
is funny.
do.
Because okay, it's sad that your latest take on Big Brother is so uneducated regarding why Kalia put up Lawon. If you paid attention to the feed, you would know that Shelly made one of the better moves in Big Brother history by explaining and convincing Kalia in a very long conversation why Kalia's game would be enhanced by putting one of her own. She was hoping for Portia. Shelly did this in order to ensure that Rachel would stay, while at the same time convincing Kalia that Shelly and Adam would vote the way Kalia deserved. The move was brilliant because Kalia and Danny think they are in complete control, when in fact they have lost control. The reason I'm disappointed in your podcast is because you are making assumptions, which have no basis in bases. Spelled it wrong. Basis is, in fact, in coming to conclusions to make comments. I have no idea what that means. I would suggest you pay more attention to the feed or updates on some blog, or don't bother doing another podcast. You have no insight on the game. Do your homework. Now, and I've commented back to her.
Right.
I made a comment. And I said, I agree with everything you said. I don't understand what you're upset about.
Right.
And then I said, you do know that we did this before that conversation happened.
Right.
Like,
Right.
they had that conversation.
The chronology is a bit
Yeah.
off, sweetie. Perhaps.
And I was just surprised. I was like, that's interesting because I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
Like, it's everything I said, but I think what happened, what upset them was maybe they didn't understand the fact that
Maybe they don't realize we're on a Monday.
I don't know. That's what I thought because it was so weird. It's like, and I get that a lot. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're why? Because like if something changes in the game,
Sure.
people think like we're off, but we were recording before it happened.
It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. When we were doing it on Thursday, people were angry because we were
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because
now
everything had happened.
And now people are angry that we're unable to predict the future with with crystal
Right.
ball type accuracy.
Right.
I'm
Did that
surprised
woman
my,
also insult my apparel? Did she insult my clothing or no?
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? Whatever then. Fair
I'm
enough.
upset that I'm upset that the comment I made is not here. That's weird. I had replied and I actually I said I agree with everything you're saying. I just don't understand what
Did
you're
she
upset
then
about.
respond and say, "Listen, I'm sorry, I'm stupid"?
No, and I get that sometimes people are like, oh, I had no clue. I forgot. Sorry, it's fine.
Right.
But I agree with everything. I think what upset her was that I called Kalia an idiot for doing that.
Do you think it's Kalia writing?
I think it is.
Right.
I think it is.
Is
Kalia.
it possible that she's writing?
But Kalia is an idiot for doing that move. I still think I don't think that helped her in her game. It did nothing
No,
that
it
week.
didn't. And after
You sent
the-
Lawon home, someone that could have voted you in the house.
Right.
Right.
And someone who was not a threat to anyone.
Yeah, so I mean that's fine. I could understand. Like I don't know if Kalia's on that block next week, everybody's voting Kalia home.
Right.
There's no way she's like. Let's say against Portia. Let's say Let's say
Portia
Jeff.
and Danny will be the only ones that.
Let's say Shelly goes home.
Okay.
Jeff, Jordan, Danny's not competing, so there's a good chance the veterans will win.
Right.
Unless Rachel and Brendon backdoor Jeff and Jordan, who's
Okay.
going to go up on the block? They're going to go after Danny, unless they keep their promise.
Right.
They know that Danny will compete in the POV, so they may not want to piss Danny off this week. So who's left? Adam, Portia, Kalia. Who do you put up? Portia, Kalia.
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 Okay, yeah.
Kalia.
Yeah.
Be honest.
It's the safest bet because then what happens if Danny wins, takes Kalia off,
Right.
Adam goes up, Portia goes home. So it was still a good move. You didn't really piss too many people off.
Right.
Everybody got their way. You
Right.
could still play a social game and convince Kalia, like, no, we're going after her. I want you to compete, to fight, just like she did
She
to
did
Jeff.
to Jeff. Yeah.
You could do that.
Right.
And then vote for him, like on the side.
Yeah, I mean,
Go,
it's.
Kalia.
I
You
don't
can
understand.
do
Like,
it.
Kalia doesn't have any votes. Kalia could have possibly had Lawon's vote if she brought her in. I think Kalia's self-destructed, and we're out here over-analyzing. I mean,
I think that she let
it's a simplest
Danny-
situation. It's not as complicated as people think it is. I don't think these people are geniuses and masterminds when you're in that house because you're reacting based on emotion, and your reaction is not that thought out. I mean, there are some people that could do that, but I don't think Kalia is one of them.
Right.
I think Danny's one of them. Danny thinks, in the future, but Danny also reacts on emotion. Danny's fighting with, Danny went after Jeff, Danny went after Rachel, and and they're very personal attacks.
Right.
But Danny's such a strong player, you don't want to piss her off. You know what I never understood, Jess, and you explain this because you're, I watch, but you know the game a little bit better. Why wouldn't you just go after the strongest player week 1 or week 2? You know what I mean? When you have the chance. Don't make it personal. I have no friends in this game. He's the strongest player.
But
People will
if
understand that.
Socially, if you're on the goal would be to hook up with someone who's really strong. Because
But, I mean,
once
look at
you
Danny.
get them onto your alliance. Danny's a strong player.
But nobody's
And-
going to get her out.
And Danny hooked in with the veterans, which was a smart move on the veterans' part. Everybody works together because they're all strong. First couple of weeks, nobody knows who's strong. We know who the veterans are, and we know that they're strong because they were veterans. They've done this before. You can't vote out people that you don't know.
She's not on good terms with them.
Not anymore.
No.
She was in the beginning.
But I'm talking like the last couple of weeks. She's fought with Rachel. She got Brendon. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
Brendon went out, and she could have gotten Rachel out, but Kalia screwed that whole thing up.
Right.
And again, I'm sorry. I don't know what you see that I didn't understand that message. Like, was she telling me that I was wrong for thinking Kalia's an idiot? Like, I didn't understand. Like, I
didn't
understand.
the message in general.
Like, I don't. It's like, no, you're wrong because you don't understand why she did it.
She was saying maybe you didn't know about that conversation. I
No,
have no
but
idea.
she's saying like you don't. She was almost
You're
saying
not
like,
attributing it to the right.
but I agreed with her.
Sure.
Like I don't remember. I think I did say she spoke to Shelly, or I don't know. I saw her speaking to Shelly, but you know what I mean. I may have said I don't know why she's doing the stupid move.
Right.
But like I was speaking in general.
Right.
I was thinking out loud. Like I don't know. Who knows? Crazy people. But where do we go from here? The house is pretty split. The veterans do have an advantage over the newbies.
Do you think there's going to be another wild card introduced by CBS?
I'm positive there'll be
Sure.
something.
Right.
Because we
There's
haven't
gonna be
seen Pandora's
the
box.
Grand Lux coup d'etat.
What will it be, though?
Encrusted diamond
Encrusted,
Vito Pandora box.
What will it be? Who will,
Well, we're
what
going
will-
to see Pandora's box, which Pandora's box has been a waste the last couple of years. Like, it hasn't been like anything significant, like somebody coming back in the house or
Right.
something shifting.
Right.
You know, it'd be a great Pandora's box. You open up the box and it tells you to go home. That'll be a great Pandora's box.
Excellent
You open the box and there's a risk that you may get evicted. Whoever is HOH goes on the block. That would be a great Pandora's box.
That's a great Pandora's box. CBS, Are you listening?
Like, why wouldn't you do that? That's a great, that makes it worth it. Like, it's stupid. Like, oh, money goes out, but I can't get the money. That's stupid.
Right.
Or you get locked with Jesse. How ridiculous was that? Nobody cares.
Right, right.
Do something. Do a pound. Like, okay, you want to open up Pandora's box? Either, there's a chance you may get HOH next week, or, you may be safe for the Final Four and nobody knows it. Like, there'll be something crazy. Who knows?
Something crazy, yeah.
Or you go home. Or when you go, or what it'll be is when you go up on the block, when you go home, you don't get a vote in the jury house. You don't go to jury house. Something.
All right, that
You
would
could
be
do something.
interesting.
That could be interesting.
Or you get 2 votes in jury house. You could do something,
Right.
I mean, so interesting.
Right.
But they, of course, I don't know. Maybe they'll do it this year because they're throwing everything out there. And we haven't seen I don't know if they'll do the Diamond Crescent Power de Veto or the Coup d'etat. Last year was a flop, so I don't know if they'll do it.
That's true. Last year was the worst.
But I mean, what are they going to do again? Jordan will be on the block, and they'll give it to Jeff, and Jeff will pull Jordan off. Like, what are they going to do? I think if they give it to anybody, if they allow America to vote for it, which they might, if they do like a coup d'etat, America, they might give it to Jeff or Jordan, and then what they'll do is they'll hold it, and then when Jeff or Jordan goes up, they'll pull it. And that again, that'll be another sign of manipulation in the game.
Right.
In the beginning, I was really excited to see the veterans, and I was like, yeah, Dick is going to be in there. That'll be so awesome. I'm a fan of Dick's. We all know that. I'm going to get an audio clip. I like the way Dick plays the game. I'm a fan of Danny, and I was for the veterans. But now at this point, I was thinking, you know what? It was a waste of a season because I would have loved to see new characters in that game and different people playing the game, and it would have been such a different game.
Right.
Right.
If there weren't
Especially
the veterans
if they're
in
gonna
there.
do veterans next season.
If they are.
they are. I mean, we're just guessing.
But they're going to have to, because 7 was a veteran. 7 was an all-stars. So they haven't done it for some time.
Right.
Right. I don't know.
It's all leading up, but I can't see them doing this. It was a half-assed all-stars.
Right.
This was all-stars with the potential. You know what it could have been? It was 2 scenarios. They wanted to do all-stars, but people couldn't sign up, the people they wanted. Or B,
Right, because they really wanted Boogie and Will.
Boogie and Will.
And during that first episode, you see them
Their
scroll.
picture.
You see them scroll right over the wall.
So who knows
Will
what that
and
was?
Boogie's photos are on
But
the wall.
who knows what that was?
I think they were in contract negotiations
And
to get them
something
in.
happened.
And last minute they decided not to. And that's why they ended up appearing on the talk that day.
Okay, that's your theory.
My theory.
But if they do, or the other option was the casting was so weak, they didn't feel confident that they were going to be able to pull the numbers. So they said, okay, let's do a half all-stars and half regular, and we see where that goes.
Right.
And that blew up in their face now.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. I'm hoping that the season improves. I'm a little bit down on the season because it's so. I would love to see Adam get it. I would love to see, Kalia got it, but it was Danny. I would like to see Shelly get it.
Right.
I would like to see Dom in the game, playing the game, because Dom would have put Jeff up.
Sure.
That would have been interesting. I don't think the controversial characters are gone now.
Right.
So who knows? But let's wrap it up, guys.
All right.
I want to. Actually, you want to do Final Four again?
Okay,
Let's do
Final
Final
Four.
Four.
Let's do
What is
Final
it?
Four.
All right. Danny.
Danny.
Jordan. No.
No.
Danny. Jeff. I don't know. Danny, Jeff. Danny, Jeff, Jordan. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna kind of.
Danny, Jeff, Jordan, who?
Danny, Jeff, Jordan, Adam.
Why is it so hard for you guys to pick somebody?
I don't know. I don't like it. I feel like I'm.
We
signing
had a
papers.
bet, which we were gonna do bets on this. It never kind of
I
materialized.
know it never materialized.
No, because I
Material.
change mine every week.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm still good with my Final Four, right?
Listen, I
My
think you
original,
cha-
Danny, Brendan.
I'm pretty sure that you changed your final
Yeah,
four.
your Final
Jeff
Four has
Rachel.
been changed so many
But
times.
I like how we're gonna pretend that it wasn't.
Right.
Okay.
So yes, honey.
Yes, I'm right.
You're
What's your final four?
100% right.
My Final Four. I'm gonna say Jeff.
Jeff.
I'm gonna say Shelly.
So you're thinking she's
So
not
you
going
think
home this
you
week?
think Brendan's going home?
I think Brendan's gonna go.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think Shelly's gonna be.
That'd be an interesting move.
I think Jeff's gonna be in.
Shelly.
I'm gonna say Jordan.
Okay.
You know, because I think CBS will murder people other than have them evicted. So I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna say Danny.
Danny.
Yeah.
You
Danny's definitely going to be in there.
Okay.
I love how we write them down every week. You don't see this?
Right.
You're writing
We
them down.
write
I
them
write them down
down
every
and
week.
then we throw them
It's
out.
great.
Here's
It's
my
just a
pick.
waste of ink.
Here's my pick. Les Moonves.
Yes.
Okay.
Julie Chen, the crazy woman who sent you the email.
Yes.
Yeah. The crazy woman that sent me the email.
Yeah.
Evil Dick.
Right.
And
Leah Remini from The King.
yeah, that's so funny. I was
Yeah,
thinking Leah Remini.
Can I plug my Twitter before we go?
Yes. Plug your
It's Tim TIMJ Dillon DILLON. I'm gonna get really active. I've been active. I'm gonna get more active, and we'll start recommending different foods and things in the tri-state area.
Wonderful.
So
That's great.
It'll be fun.
My final four. I'll go my final four. Jordan, Danny, Brendon, Kalia. My final four.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Kalia?
Yeah.
All right.
That's my final four.
What's
'Cause
in
all of a sudden
Pandora's
we
box? We all want to take just one guess before we leave. What's in the Pandora's box?
Jesse.
Shima.
That would be excellent.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the alligators Porsche one. And
Yeah.
They're going to let them run through the house and eat everyone. All right.
Excellent.
All
We'll
right.
see you all next week.
Thank
Remember,
you.
go to our website. You could subscribe to the show. It's on our website at gfqnetwork.com. You can watch it. You can listen to us. Subscribe to us on iTunes. It's a huge help. Also, if you're watching on Stickam, on Justin TV, and Ustream, remember to follow us, subscribe to us. We're on Twitter, twitter.com/gfqnetwork. My Twitter is Andrew Zarian. Jessica's Jessica Zarian. And we'll see you all next week on Big Brother Rewind. Good night, everybody.
Good night.